time for the 1480 Club with John Lewis and Brian O'Neill.
Welcome to the 1480 Club for Tuesday, May 10th, 2016. This is John Lewis joining me, Brian O'Neill. Having a good time already this morning in the studio. We've been here for a little while. Yes, but welcome to this show. Today, being May 10th, we have some birthdays today. Maria Bentley and Rick Doremus. Happy birthday to you both today on this Tuesday. And it's nice and sunny again today. So when we talk to Rob, I'm hoping he's going to stick with that forecast that it's warm today, because I have a polo shirt on. And I need the warmth then, because I did not wear a long sleeve shirt today.
Currently, it says 51 degrees.
Okay, all right. Yesterday he said it could get into the 60s, so let's hope that maybe by lunchtime when I get out of here for lunch, it'll be great. Brian, tonight, 2 primaries, Republican in Nebraska. What do you think? Will anything be happening for that now that Trump's the kind of the designated heir to the Republican nomination?
I can't imagine that anybody's going to upstage him.
Right. Okay.
After all the victories he had.
And then the nation's also looking at West Virginia tonight for primaries, and Bernie's still trying to make that last push for upstaging Hillary on the Democratic side.
So we'll see if West Virginia's feeling the burn.
Yeah, so will those be on ABC coverage tonight?
No, they won't.
Okay, I'm just curious. Now also, Brian, I say I don't get too political, but I keep hearing now Paul Ryan's name again, and this was when I was talking with Dr. Heineman. We spoke about Paul Ryan a few times. His name keeps popping up. Now he's talking about if Donald Trump and he don't see eye to eye come convention time, he may step aside and let someone else lead the convention. So
that was raised yesterday during the Congressman Tom Reed weekly press call.
Great.
And Reed said that he is hoping for peace between the two, basically, is what he said. That's not word for word, verbatim, but...
Okay. Yeah, and that could very well happen. It sounds like they've met one time, according to both of them, and they just don't know each other well enough yet for Paul Ryan to endorse Donald Trump on the Republican side. So we'll see where that leads. Some good conversation there. Then bringing it back local, we've got some news. The Hornell Community Theater is holding their cabaret this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Elks Club. Tickets are $10 at the door. And speaking of the Hornell Community Theater, they are doing auditions starting today for, let me look here. I had lost it, but I had it this morning. It's Beauty and the Beast Jr. I was going to say, I thought it was one of the Disney movies, and it's Beauty and the Beast Jr. So auditions for Hornell Community Theater, kids auditions for Beauty and the Beast Jr. happening today, tomorrow, and Thursday right here in Hornell. And tomorrow, Brian, the grand opening of Brandy's Cup of Joe at 12 Maple Street in Hornell. We're going to be at the ribbon cutting for that tomorrow.
Hey, that sounds good.
1 p.m. So a homegrown coffee house here in Hornell.
And that's at the old Cynthia's Cookies?
Yes. Right on Maple Street. So come check that out with us tomorrow. And Brian, you had mentioned tomorrow there's another ceremony happening an hour later at 2 p.m. in Canisteo.
Living Sign. They're going to be planting the last tree. They're, I guess you'd say, redoing the sign, refurbishing the sign, however you want to say that. It's a sign of trees, of course. Over $14,000 came in from donations from 65 people who wanted to see that living sign of the trees that spell out the word Canisteo.
Great. And I saw some photos of it already, and it already looks great, and it sounds like the last tree will be planted tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's quite the project.
Yes. Definitely go check that out, too, even if you just do a drive-by and get a picture. That's history in the making again. World-famous living sign. I said over the weekend, hopefully the new one will also be world-famous. It's a replanting.
Sure.
Now, also, we mentioned this yesterday, but it continues today. Avoca is having kindergarten registration. So that will be also today, starting at 8:30, so in about 15 minutes, to 2:30 p.m. today in Avoca at Avoca Central School. Make sure you bring you need the birth certificate. Your child must be at least 5 years of age on or before December 1st, 2016. and we need the current immunization records. They're required for public school attendance before entry. So they're accepting appointments, and you can call 566-2221 for more information about that. But get those kids, those 5-year-olds in school. It's time. It's ready for them to learn. I'm sure they want to. And one other thing we mentioned yesterday, but we want to keep plugging this. They're looking for hosts for the Hornell Dodgers, and that season starts Memorial Day, and the players arrive May 24th. Housing is needed for those players, and to call for information, that's Steve DeSanto at 368-0237. Steve DeSanto at 368-0237 if you have an interest or even just want some information about housing for our Hornell Dodgers, who won the 2014 championships for the NYCBL. So congrats to them for that beautiful season before, and I know they had a great season last year as well.
Oh, yeah, always a lot of fun. That really makes our weeknights here on WLDA with Frank Williams doing the play-by-play.
Yes, and he's going to be doing a lot of those games for us this year, so we're very excited about that. A lot going on here this week on the 1480 Club. We've got the Cub Scouts coming in later this week. We'll be checking in with Shelly Stevens later this week. And Brian, who do we have on the Newsmaker show following this show today?
Long Island doctor. His name is Dr. Richard Olds, and he says that there's a shortage of primary care doctors in both New York State and nationwide, and he wants to encourage people, seniors in high school thinking of, who have a good science background, who like to help people to get into that field.
Yes, Brian, working in higher ed, a lot of students, some of those, the students that are really into science, what I always heard from them, just working at one school at least, they were looking towards psychology, psychiatry. A lot of them should be looking towards medicine as well. We don't hear that as much, and that's obviously a wonderful profession. I think sometimes high school students get a little bit scared thinking about going in to actually be a physician or a primary care physician, but there's no need to be that.
All righty, we've got meteorologist Rob Carolyn on the line, back in 90 seconds on the 1480 Club.
Springwater Amish Workshop invites you to their Customer Appreciation Open House on Saturday, May 14th from 9 till 3. There'll be several giveaways, including an 8-foot by 8-foot Carolina cottage valued at $1,500, a maintenance-free poly patio chair valued at $248, and a wishing well valued at $225. You'll receive a special 5% discount on all buildings and gazebos purchased on May 14th. They also offer rent-to-own. The shop is filled with beautifully handcrafted indoor and outdoor pieces. The furniture is lovely and craftsmanship is unmatched. Quality pieces like tables, chairs, cabinets, children's furniture, clothing racks, and so much more. There'll be Amish-made foods to sample and a chance to meet some of their Amish craftsmen. Please save the date, Saturday, May 14th, Springwater Amish Workshop Open House, 7936 Mill Street, that's Route 15 in Springwater. Check them out at springwateramishworkshop.com or visit them on Facebook.
Dr. Andy Rupert provides comprehensive women's health services at his office in Hornell, including gynecological and obstetrical care. Dr. Rupert and his team are located at 430 Canisteo Street in Hornell, across from St. James Mercy Hospital. To schedule an appointment, call 607-324-0604. That's Dr. Andy Rupert providing comprehensive women's health services, 324-0604.
Now, a detailed look at today's weather here on AM 1480 WLEA.
Back here live on the 1480 Club with meteorologist Rob Carolyn. Rob, how are you today?
I'm doing well, John. How are you this morning?
Very good, thank you. Great to be here. Glad to be here.
Yeah, nice morning out there across much of the southern tier, though I'm watching some high cloudiness creep its way towards us, John. It's associated with a big storm system that is in Kansas. We have high pressure this morning up over Lake Ontario, and two systems are kind of fighting it out. The high is going to be able to keep the low cloudiness out, but unfortunately the high clouds are going to kind of creep up over the top of the high, and that's why we're forecasting kind of a partly to mostly sunny day. The mostly sunny part taking place now. The partly sunny part will be later on this morning into the afternoon when the sun takes on a much more filtered quality. Temperature-wise, we're going to do well today. We're 65 to 70. We expect high pressure to strengthen overnight, kind of force the clouds back to our south and west. It should become clear overnight with a low around 40. Nice day tomorrow. High pressure dominates the northeast, keeps the clouds off to our south and west. We'll have sunshine tomorrow and a high of 75. We're clear to partly cloudy tomorrow night, 50. But finally on Thursday, the high starts to break down. The weather starts to change, John. Sun will give way to increasing clouds Thursday. There could be some late day showers. Warm, 75 to near 80 on Thursday. And then showers are likely with breezy conditions and cooler temperatures Friday. Highs on Friday near 65.
Well, Rob, from your forecast yesterday, I said, okay, I'm going to wear a polo shirt today. It sounds like that is still good to go, and
Wow,
maybe
you dressed
even more
up.
so
That's
tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Well,
Rob, our
normally,
weather station says 54. Does that sound right to you?
Absolutely.
Brian, I love that microphone. It sounds a little raw, but I
So
don't
does
know.
Brian.
Rob, thank you for checking in with us today. We will look for you midweek.
All right, I'll be back tomorrow.
All right, thank you, sir.
You got it.
AM 1480 WLEA. Cockroaches. Most people don't like them. John Lewis hosts the 1480 Club, and most people do like him. Don't spray your radio with Raid. Listen to John Lewis on the 1480 Club. It's either that or the cockroaches.
Thank you, Brian. I remember we've heard that one time before. That's a great promo.
Well, I think it says it all. It's either you or the cockroaches.
Could be a number of different varmint. Take your pick. Speaking of cockroaches, another animal I'm
a
reading
transition.
about are mice in a book that a friend recently gave me called Who Moved My Cheese? It is quite an easy read. It says it takes less than an hour. Now, it didn't put me to sleep, but I read it on my way to sleep last night, and I'm about halfway through. So I'm reading about Hem and Haw, who are little people in this book. Have you ever heard of the book, Brian? Who Moved
I must
My
have
Cheese?
missed that one.
I had never heard of it either, and I love it. It's great. It's all about change and, how change affects the world and how it affects people differently. So we're reading right now the first half, focusing heavily on what they're called little people. They're kind of mice-sized humans named Hem and Haw. On the opposite side, we've got two mice that are actually running around in a maze looking for cheese. So I still haven't gotten their story yet. That's the other half of the book. Can't wait to read that into tonight.
That sounds like one of the classics.
Yes, it's really good. It's really good. A quick read, and I'm getting a lot out of it already. Brian, we just heard, so we talked about a lack of physicians, and then we heard an ad just there before the news for a local doctor. And it was speaking with women. Yesterday was National Women's Checkup Day as well, so that all tied in really well. I like when we can do that on the show. I'm not sure if that was planned or not.
No, that was an accident. I was unaware of yesterday's holiday.
National Women's Checkup Day, meaning today, and I always try to check those. Today is National Lipid Day, so also ties in with doctors, and also National Shrimp Day. So if you're out and about today wondering what you might want to do for lunch or dinner or even a snack, it is National Shrimp Day. So I'm sure Bubba Gump Shrimp Company would be happy about that from the Forrest Gump movies, Bubba and Forrest. But Brian, we had a good show today. Indeed, we will be back again tomorrow here on the 1480 Club.
And remember, we give away 2 pizzas this week. We gave away 1 yesterday. We'll give away 1 on Friday. A large one-topping pizza from Pizza King.
Yes, and that's actually where I went to dinner last night, Brian. But again, make sure you share this show with friends. We're recording it today, and it will be up online. So your friends around the country and around the world can listen to the 1480 Club on WLEA.net. We appreciate you listening live either on WLEA.net or on 1480 AM, broadcasting right off of Ashbaugh Hill in Hornell, New York. For Brian O'Neill, I'm John Lewis. We appreciate you listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles,